US President Trump has slapped sanctions on Russia's two largest oil companies. Ukraine's President Zelensky called it very important for ceasefire, and EU leaders have welcomed it too.
US President Donald Trump has imposed sanctions on Russia's two largest oil companies on Wednesday for the first time in his second term. The new sanctions were unveiled one day after plans for a summit between US President Trump and Russian President Putin fell apart. Trump has held off on new sanctions for months, saying he hoped to persuade Russian President Putin to make peace despite growing frustration from the Kremlin leader. He also added that he hoped the tremendous sanctions against Russian oil giants would be short-lived.
Today is a very big day in terms of what we're doing. Look, these are tremendous sanctions. These are very big. Those are against their two big oil companies, and we hope that they won't be on for long. We hope that the war will be settled. I think that they'll certainly have an impact. They're massive sanctions. It's sanctions on oil. The two biggest oil companies, among the biggest in the world, but they're Russian. They do a lot of oil. And hopefully it'll push, hopefully he'll become reasonable, and hopefully Zelensky will be reasonable too.
Meanwhile, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, who is in Washington, D.C., hailed Trump's efforts to end the Russia-Ukraine conflict on Wednesday.
What can I do, what can NATO do to support President Trump's vision of ending this war, ending the killing in Ukraine, including what we can do to make sure that Putin accepts the president's view that the two parties should stop where they are. As he said on Friday and on Sunday, I totally support him, and we will see how we can do that.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on Wednesday the United States still wants to meet with the Russians despite the sanctions.
Well, we'd still like to meet with the Russians. We still want to, and I think I had a good call with Foreign Minister Lavrov, and we'll follow up on that. We're always going to be interested in engaging if there's an opportunity to achieve peace.
Separately, EU countries on Thursday formally adopted the 19th package of sanctions against Russia that includes a ban on Russian liquefied natural gas imports. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Thursday hailed US and EU sanctions on Russia's energy sector as very important ahead of the EU summit. He also ruled out making any territorial concessions to Russia.
This decision of 19th package of sanctions is crucial for us. Thank you so much. And today it goes together with the yesterday's decisions of President Trump on energy, also sanctions package. We waited for this. God bless, it will work. And this is very important.
Head of the European People's Party, Manfred Weber, also welcomed the US sanctions on Russian oil, stating that now Europeans and Americans are stronger together. The sanctions involve freezing of all Rossneft and Lukoil assets in the United States, while barring all American companies from doing any business with the two Russian oil titans. Meanwhile, hours after the proposed meeting between US and Russian presidents was cancelled, Putin on Wednesday oversaw a test of Russia's nuclear forces on land, sea and air to rehearse their readiness and command structure. Bureau Report, DD India.